So you're going to give someone a pack of cards, ask them to shuffle, mix them up. So this deck is in a complete random order that no one could even know. So there's so many combinations of this, millions and millions and millions. So when they're done, you take the cards back and just say, just so I can't mess with the order, I'm going to put them inside the box. I'm going to leave this in plain sight on the table. Now you look at them and just tell them you're going to make a prediction. So what you do is you get a piece of paper and a pen, you stare at them and you just say, okay, send it to me, and you write it down. So I'm going to predict this. Now, all you do here is put that on the table and you leave it there. And look, pick up the deck now, take it out. Remember, they shuffled these, so it's a complete random order. You take the cards out and immediately, without any funny moves, you put them down on the table. Ask them to cut this into roughly 3 even piles. And they do that, let's say they do it like this. So it doesn't need to be exact. Now, all you do is you have them hold over both hands and put them on any 2 of the piles. So let's say they put them on these 2 piles. You say wicked, so we're going to eliminate this one. Now with these, just push any one of the piles towards me. Let's say they push this one. So you keep this one and this one gets eliminated. And they're left with just 1 pile. With these, what you're going to do is you're going to deal them down onto the table into 4 piles. You're going to keep going and you keep going and keep going until you run out of cards. Now at the end, they get to choose any pile they want. So let's say they choose this one. If they want, they can change their mind. But they say no, they want to stick with this one. You bet them that you know that top card. You take out this, and even though they shuffled the cards, it says 10. And look, you turn this over, and it's a 10. But even more impressive, check this out. You just wave, and when you turn over all these other cards, you've actually found all 4 10s. Now let's learn this. The way this works is so simple. Take out all 4 10s, that's going to be a prediction. You just leave these cards in the box. So sneaky, right? You leave that on the table. So now, when you take the cards and they've shuffled them and they give them back to you, when you put these inside the box, just make sure they don't see, but all those 10s are now on the bottom of the deck. Then you go ahead and you go and make your prediction, and it's always going to be 10. So when you put that down on the table and you take all the cards out, this time you take out all of the cards, adding those 4 10s on the bottom. And when they cut these into 3 piles, you just look where this bottom pile goes, and we're going to force that. So we do this with the magician's force. So they hold out 2 hands. If they put their hands both here, we say wicked. We're going to get rid of both of these, and we've just forced that pile. If they do what I did and they put it over like this, you say, right, now what we're going to do is going to eliminate this pile. We're leaving it like this. So now you're in a position. You say, push one of the piles towards me. Let's say they push this one. You say, wicked, I'm going to get rid of that as well, and get rid of it. But if they push this one towards you, they push it, you say, right, we're going to keep that one, and finally we're going to get rid of that. So now we've got a random pile from a shuffled deck that you've just shuffled. But in fact, you've got all 4 10s right here. So now when you deal these out into 4 piles, that's just going to bring all of these right to the top. So you deal the cards out, and it's going to bring all 4 10s, look, just like this, to the top. So now when they pick any pile, it's going to match your prediction every time. But of course, when you turn these over, you're going to look even more skilled, and it's going to make you look like some card genius.